All right, let's get real here. Life throws curveballs. Sometimes it throws a whole hailstorm, and we call that a crisis. It's that moment when you feel like the world is spinning off its axis and you're just trying to hang on. Today, we're not just going to talk about surviving those moments. We're talking about mastering them, about building that emotional resilience that lets you bend but not break. Now, I want to be crystal clear. What we're discussing here are strategies and tools you can pull out of your toolbox when things get tough. But, and this is a big but, if that crisis feels like it's swallowing you whole, if it becomes unmanageable, you need to reach for more. There are fantastic free resources online, support lines with people ready to listen, and if it's an emergency, you get yourself to the hospital, no hesitation. Your well-being is paramount, you hear me? Now here's something you gotta understand. What works for one person in a crisis might not work for another. It's not a one-size-fits-all deal. Some folks need to be alone, to process in solitude, while others crave connection and the support of their tribe. Some need to let out a primal scream, others need a quiet cry. Some want advice, a roadmap, and others just need a compassionate ear. Someone to say, I hear you and I'm here. And guess what? What you need might change from one crisis to the next. So when you're trying to help someone else through their storm, you park your own playbook at the door. You listen, you respect their wishes, and you don't try to force your way of coping onto them. That's just adding more weight to an already heavy load. So, before we dive in, I want you to do something for me. Take a deep breath. Good. Now I want you to cast your mind back. Think about a time you were in a real crisis. A time you felt overwhelmed, maybe even a little lost. What did you do that actually helped? What small thing, what big thing, what thought, what action brought you even a sliver of relief or clarity? Don't just think about it. Jot it down. Make a note. Because understanding what has worked for you in the past is a powerful first step in building your arsenal for the future. When you're in a crisis, the last thing you need is someone saying, just think positive. That kind of talk can feel dismissive, like you're failing for feeling what you're feeling. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to stop fighting and accept your emotions. Acceptance doesn't mean you like what's happening or that you're condoning it. It means acknowledging the reality of your emotions. When you resist a strong emotion, it often gets stronger. Instead of fighting, pivot towards self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend. Recognize that it's human to struggle and feel pain. Practice saying, "It's okay that I'm feeling like this right now." This simple act of validation can release internal pressure. It creates space to think about what to do next, rather than just reacting. Accepting the feeling is the first step to processing it. This act of non-judgmental observation can be incredibly powerful. Nothing lasts forever. This truth is a lifeline in a crisis. Think of distress like a tsunami. It crashes down but eventually recedes. Your emotional world works the same way. When you're in the thick of it, the crisis feels all-consuming. But even the biggest tsunami eventually pulls back. Reflect on a past crisis you thought you'd never get through. Remember that it did end. The situation changed, or you changed. Actively remind yourself of impermanence. Tell yourself, this feeling, this situation will not last forever. Look at the world around you. Seasons change, and so do emotions. Change is the only constant. When you feel overwhelmed, grab onto this truth. Repeat it to yourself. This too shall pass. Understanding this concept provides hope and perspective. It helps you endure, knowing a different emotional landscape is on its way. Let's talk about breathing. Your breath is a powerful tool to manage your emotional state. When stressed, your breathing gets shallow and rapid. This signals your nervous system that there's danger, but you can interrupt that cycle. Consciously slow down your breath. Make it deeper and more rhythmic. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, bringing calm. Focus on a long, slow exhalation. Expel as much air out of your lungs as you can. This creates space for a deeper, more fulfilling inhale. Try inhaling for a count of 3 and exhaling for a count of 6. Do this for at least 5 minutes. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. This simple tool is always with you. It helps you find calm, even when the world feels chaotic. Practice conscious breathing to manage your emotional state. Writing can bring order to emotional chaos. Putting pen to paper can be calming and clarifying. Labeling an emotion can reduce its intensity. Writing down your feelings externalizes them. It's like shining a flashlight on the monster under the bed. If talking feels too exposing, write it out. Your journal is a private space for your honest self. Don't censor yourself. Let it all spill onto the page. Write a letter to someone who hurt you, even if you never send it. The act of expression itself is therapeutic. Writing helps you understand your experience more clearly. It's a way to declutter your mind and reduce the emotional charge. Grounding techniques pull you out of emotional spirals. Engage your five senses to reconnect with the present moment. Focus on something visually calming in your environment. Use your sense of smell with calming scents like lavender. Listen to relaxing or uplifting music. Engage your sense of touch with a soft blanket or petting an animal. Mindfully eat something you enjoy, focusing on taste and texture. Identify what works for you and create a sensory toolkit. Don't wait until a crisis to figure this out. Prepare your sensory toolkit in advance. Grounding helps you create a sense of safety and stability. It's a way to self-soothe and interrupt the panic cycle. Spending time in nature is profoundly restorative. Research shows it reduces blood pressure and stress hormones. Nature shifts your perspective, making problems feel smaller. A walk in the park or a tree-lined street can make a difference. Engage actively with your surroundings. Notice the colors, shapes, and textures in nature. Listen to the sounds of nature and breathe in the fresh air. Feel the sun on your skin or the breeze on your face. Mindful engagement with nature amplifies its therapeutic effects. Nature offers a space for quiet reflection and peace. Make spending time outdoors part of your crisis management toolkit. It's a free resource that provides a powerful antidote to stress. Having a crisis plan empowers you to cope. Identify a few key people you can rely on. Communicate your needs clearly to your support system. Create a self-care box with comforting items. Include things that engage your senses. Use proven strategies that have worked for you in the past. Write them down and put them in your self-care box. Identify potential stressors and plan how to deal with them. Develop healthier coping mechanisms in advance. A crisis plan helps you respond with intention and strength. It's about being prepared, not inviting trouble. Empower yourself with a well-thought-out crisis plan. All right, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about accepting your feelings, understanding that tough times don't last forever, using your breath, writing it out, engaging your senses, getting out in nature, and building a solid crisis plan. These aren't just theories, folks. These are practical, actionable strategies that can make a real difference when you're staring down the barrel of a crisis. The bottom line is this: while you can't always control what life throws at you, you absolutely have more control than you think over how you respond. And that, right there, is where your power lies. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Building emotional resilience takes work. It takes practice. It takes a willingness to get real with yourself, to face those uncomfortable feelings, and to commit to using these tools even when it feels hard. There's no magic pill, no quick fix. But every time you consciously choose to use one of these strategies, every time you take a step towards managing your emotional state in a healthier way, you're strengthening that resilience muscle. You're proving to yourself that you can handle more than you thought you could. So, what are you going to do with this information? Are you going to let it just be another video you watched? Or are you going to take it, own it, and put it into action? The power to navigate life's storms with greater strength and grace is within you. It's not about never feeling pain or distress. It's about knowing you have the capacity to move through it, to learn from it, and to come out stronger on the other side. You got this. Now go out there and start building that blueprint for your own emotional resilience.